It started on a quiet, rainy afternoon when Sarah, a 32-year-old teacher, sat alone in her small apartment, staring at her reflection in the mirror. Her eyes were tired, her face paled, and beneath the surface, she carried a secret she couldn't share with anyone. For months, she had been battling a condition that left her in pain and shame, one she felt too embarrassed to even mention out loud. Every night she told herself she'd make an appointment. Every morning she found a new excuse not to. "It's nothing," she whispered, convincing herself that if she ignored it, it would go away. But it didn't. The pain grew worse, her energy faded. She started missing classes, her students worried, and her friends noticed how distant she'd become. Sarah had always been the one who helped others with a smiling face in every storm. But now, she was the one sinking. She'd scroll through her phone, reading medical articles, trying to self-diagnose, but the fear of hearing a doctor confirm her worst thoughts froze her completely. One night, she couldn't sleep. Her heart raced, her breathing quickened, and tears spilled down her face. She picked up her phone, trembling, and searched for the nearest clinic. "Just once," she said to herself, "I'll go just once." The next morning, Sarah walked into the hospital with her coat clutched tight. The smell of disinfectant and the quiet hum of machines made her even more anxious. As she sat in the waiting room, her mind flooded with doubts. What if it's serious? What if they judge me? What if they laugh? She almost walked out before her name was called. "Miss Sir Collins." Her heart skipped. She stood up slowly and followed the nurse into the examination room. The nurse smiled warmly, sensing her unease. "Your doctor will be with you shortly," she said kindly. Sarah nodded but couldn't calm her shaking hands. She expected an older, stern doctor, the kind who would make her feel even smaller. But when the door opened, and walked a young woman no older than Sarah herself with kind eyes and a gentle smile. "Hi, I'm Dr. Emily Brooks," she said softly, extending her hand. "It's nice to meet you." Sarah blinked in surprise. The doctor wasn't intimidating at all. She looked approachable, human, like someone who had known pain too. "Yeah, I didn't expect a broken bar," Sarah stammered. "A young doctor?" Emily finished with a laugh. "I get that a lot." For the first time in months, Sarah smiled. Something about Dr. Emily's calm tone made her feel safe. Still, when Emily asked, "So, what brings you in today?" Sarah froze. The words were stuck in her throat. Her condition as something personal and deeply private had become her biggest shame. She wanted to hide it, even from herself. Dr. Emily noticed her hesitation. She didn't rush her. Instead, she said, "You don't have to tell me everything right away. We can take it slow, whatever it is. You're safe here." That sentence broke through Sarah's walls. Tears began to roll down her cheeks. "I've been a broken bar, scared," she whispered. "Scared to talk about it. Scared of what it means." Emily handed her a tissue. "You're not alone, Sarah. Fear keeps us quiet, but silence only makes the pain worse. You did the hardest part just by walking in today." It took time, but Sarah finally opened up. She explained her symptoms, her fears, and how she'd been hiding from them for nearly a year. Dr. Emily listened without judgment, nodding gently, occasionally jotting down notes. When Sarah finished, she felt lighter, like she had released a secret that had been chained to her heart. After the examination, Emily looked at her reassuringly. "It's not as bad as you think," she said. "We caught it early, and with the right treatment, you'll be just fine." Sarah burst into tears again, but this time from relief. For the first time in a long while, she could breathe. Emily smiled. "You see, it's never too late to take care of yourself." Over the next few weeks, Sarah followed the treatment plan carefully. She'd visit the clinic regularly, and each time, Emily greeted her with warmth and encouragement. Slowly, Sarah began to heal, and not just physically, but emotionally. She started sharing her experience with her close friends, realizing how many of them also suffered in silence over things they were too embarrassed to talk about. One afternoon, as she sat in the classroom watching her students laugh and learn, she thought about how much had changed. She was no longer hiding, no longer afraid. She realized that vulnerability wasn't weakness, it was courage in disguise. Months later, when she went for her final follow-up, Emily hugged her. "You've come a long way, Sarah. I'm proud of you." Sarah smiled through tears. "You changed my life. I almost gave up before I met you." Dr. Emily shook her head gently. "No, Sarah, you saved yourself. I just reminded you how strong you already were." As Sarah walked out of the hospital that day, the sun broke through the clouds. She looked up at the sky and smiled a quiet, grateful smile that said more than words ever could. She had learned something, that die is something she'd carry forever. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is to ask for help. And sometimes, healing begins when you finally stop being ashamed of your pain. Would you like me to divide this story into 10 emotional video scene prompts, for visuals and narration flow, like I did before? It'll make it perfect for a YouTube storytelling video.